All right, man. Hey, look.
UFC.
No, before we talk about anything, we're talking about my shit, okay? I'm going to have a selfish moment.
Was it solid, long, short?
It was solid, but we're talking about the book. The book. You know what book, right? George knows what book. Look, everybody, at the end of this video, there's another video. Watch this shit. It's School Yourself into Shape. It's a book I wrote. If you need to get in shape, George and I talk about this shit a lot. It can school you. Trust me. It's no bullshit, okay? Buy my shit, all right? On to the event.
UFC 180 Doo-Doo.
Yeah.
To be honest, there were 2 fights.
2 fights.
Actually, no. For me, there was 1 fight, and it was the final fight.
Yeah, the final fight was good. There was 5 fights on the main card.
To me, the highlight of the night was the spinning back fist of the last one on the preliminary card with Paul Felder.
Paul Felder versus Danny Castillo.
Yeah, that was the best knockout of the night. I mean, he won't get performance of the night. He'll get knockout of the night. Performance of the night, I'm sure, will go to Jon Jones.
It probably
Fight of the night will probably go to Jon Jones. Because, to be honest, how do they do it? Do they do KO? They only do... whatever. Look,
he'll get KO tonight. I mean, he'll definitely.
But
Paul
see,
Felder
that whole bonus system since changed since last time you and I did one of these.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is,
it was. We'll start. The point is that most of the fights leading up to the main event were uneventful. Welterweight fight between Hector Lombard and Josh Burkman.
All this proved to me is Hector Lombard will get fucked up by a better striker or a better athlete. He's not that good.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys are good, but in the welterweight class,
he's not elite.
He's not elite.
Top 5.
I don't think,
Not what 170's packing now.
He's so thickly muscled. He seems to run out of steam.
Rory McDonald, Lawler, Henderson.
Hendricks, you mean?
Yeah, Hendricks.
Diaz
could cause him problems.
There's a lot of people that could cause him. In my opinion, that's my opinion. I just think Hector Lombard is... I don't think he's as good as everybody has built him up to be. But he did win the fight. Hats off to the guy. He fought a good fight tonight, but I thought he ran out of steam. And if he goes up against an elite opponent in the welterweight, he's going to have some trouble. Now,
and then in the next fight that was billed as a flyweight fight that was trying to help promote, I'm going to be honest, we did not watch the fight. We were watching the Ravens finish off the Steelers.
The eventful thing was dude's green hair because he looked like Gumby.
So with that said, and
he lost.
Japanese
Didn't
dude
do
won.
shit for him in the ring.
Nope.
Japanese guy crushed him, looked great, and won by unanimous decision. Yeah. Third fight.
Nate Marquardt is back in the UFC, fighting at 185, no longer making the cut to 170, and got worked.
And yeah, he fought Brad Tavares, and it's
slow. Looked like he was punching underwater. He was stopping a lot of punches with his face.
He really was, and it's just he's just really struggled in the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, he dropped down to probably longer than that now. Yeah. I mean, because he dropped down to welterweight, he did okay for a little bit, then he started losing there. Now he's
got
back
run
up
out
to
of the
middleweight.
UFC, was in Strikeforce, came back, and now he's died.
He's dead. So that was a unanimous decision.
Speaking of other fighters that can you help me?
Can I help you? What?
Why sign Rampage Jackson? Why did the UFC sign Rampage Jackson? To me, it's on the
level. He sells cards.
I
mean, that's the bottom line. It's just the same way they sign Punk.
But Rampage can't stay healthy. He'll come into the fight injured. He's explosive for about 30 seconds of the first round, and then he's ass the rest of the fight.
Okay, but let's say, for example, this. Okay, we know the outcome of the main event tonight. Okay, obviously, we'll get to it, but Daniel Cormier lost. Now, all of a sudden, you got Daniel Cormier. He stays down to light heavy. And all of a sudden, they build him to fight Rampage Jackson.
He will fuck Rampage Jackson up.
I know, but you're going to see it just because of.
I'm going to see it because it's going to be on a card where hopefully that's not the main event. Because if that's the main event, no bullshit, I wouldn't even ask you to buy it. I wouldn't ask you to download it, steal it, stream it.
Goddamn what?
I am not. I wouldn't pay $65 for that bullshit. Look at the
because you wouldn't be paid.
But look how many videos we've shot lately.
I know.
Like people complain about us not shooting videos, and I'm with that. But the product is not there to be shot. The product isn't there to talk about.
And you know what? This month. The first month of 2015.
These 3 cards are stacked.
They're awesome.
Well, we thought this was going to be an awesome card.
Yeah.
Honestly, we did. And the headliner saved the fight.
This is the thing. There was a time, and everybody, I'm sure you can agree with me, there was a time when you see the 3 fights that we're having this month in January, the headliners for each one of those fights, there was a time when you would see all those on one card. You just saw crazy, and you just have not seen that.
I would personally rather have UFC 182 this month like we did. Take Conor McGregor, put him on this card.
Right.
Put Anderson Silva on this card. You don't need both, but one or the other. Take the other one that you don't and move it to 183 and move 183 to March.
Right.
Give your fight pass and the rest of your...
Yeah.
You want this lightweight fight from Koji and Louis? Fucking bye. That's a fight. That's a fight pass
Say his
fight.
name right here.
Koji.
No, that's
Yeah, that's
Koji.
Koji.
No, it's a K, a Y, a O, J, and I say it right.
Koji.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Kyoji.
that lightweight fight should have been on a fucking fight pass.
Say his last name, man. Horiguchi.
Man, Brad Tavares beat the shit out of Nate Marquardt, and what we're getting at is the UFC is trying to pull itself away from being this WWF product, this WWE-based thing, and they're not. When you sign people like Rampage, and you bring people back like Rampage and Marquardt, and you sign CM Punk, he's 36.
George, it's numbers, dude. I mean,
but
they need the personalities to sell the card. The UFC's been doing this for a long time.
Develop them.
Brock Lesnar, he's going to pull the wrestling fans in. James Toney fights,
Randy
Couture. He's going to pull in the boxing fans that say boxing, boxing's better than MMA. You got Lesnar coming back in. Now you signed CM Punk. He's going to pull in WWE fans. I mean, he has had a history of doing this.
And it's dumb.
And you know what? It's when his numbers are suffering. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get some more mainstream fans from different avenues to come in and start watching these events. That's why he does it.
Well, and that leads us to Daniel Cerrone, who just put on a fucking ass whooping for 3 rounds to Miles Jury.
The Cowboy Cerrone put it on. I mean, he never disappoints anybody. And
well,
he's
I wanted to
tear.
finish.
Huh?
I wanted to finish.
You wanted to what?
I wanted a finish.
Yeah,
I wanted to finish the fight. After the bullshit that we sat through, 5, 10, 15 minutes plus. Why are we getting Cinemax ads? And why is Bruce Buffer cutting promos for Boost Mobile?
But, yeah, I know. Why was
what the fuck was that? I mean, why are we getting that shit? Why don't you just stop the bullshit and here?
He was cutting some more ads up.
Get rid of the PPVs and just move everything to fucking Fox and just make it commercials. Because this bullshit, fuck that. I'm not paying to listen to these fucking promos.
They were cutting a lot of promos.
Cinemax bullshit.
Miles Jury was supposed to be I don't know. He was now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Was ranked. Which is true. And if George didn't do it, somebody else out there and fucking...
I'm pretty sure Miles Jury was ranked ahead of Daniel Cerrone in the lightweight.
But Daniel Cerrone put it on his ass.
It wasn't even literally at the end.
He did put it on his ass. I mean, he kicked... I'm going to tell you what, I tweeted that shit because Daniel Cerrone fucking field goal punted him or kicked him. I mean, field goal punted, field goal kicked, I don't know, soccer kicked that motherfucker. He booted the fuck out of him in his legs and his ass like 5 or 6 times. And I said, and I'm serious when I say this, no, all jokes to the left. When he retires from MMA, he has a job, a professional job in the NFL as a field goal kicker. Because I think he can put a 50-yarder through the uprights if he's accurate. Okay?
Now,
because he kicked the shit out of guys.
That leads us to the finale.
Which was what everybody waited for because of all the fucking hype and all the fucking attitude and all the fucking
first 3 rounds I'd say the first 2 rounds lived up to it. And rounds 3, 4, and 5 kind of petered in the downward.
3 was good. And that's the only round that Daniel Cormier won. And George and I can honestly say we were pulling for Daniel Cormier, but he was...
No, I was being agreeable. I don't want to see DC win. I didn't want to see him win,
right.
But I knew what he had to do to win,
right.
And I wanted to see a good competitive fight. And the first 2 rounds...
I wanted to see Cormier win.
Right. Why? Because Kevin was up in this motherfucker pulling a Chuck Liddell, and we've all seen the video. Kevin was literally on the side of the couch,
because he just wouldn't move inside. I'm like, just get inside and create some distance. But Jon Jones is strong as shit.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the one thing I did. We knew he was strong, but wow, I didn't know how strong he was. He's so fucking lengthy and he's so fucking strong. And he just, when he had his wrists, he couldn't do shit. He couldn't escape that shit.
And you're talking about an Olympic level wrestler.
He was like fucking Kung Fu grip G.I. Joe. He was like Kung Fu grip G.I. Joe on that motherfucker. He could not get away from him.
No, he was struggling. Going into the fight, I sat there and told many people, anyone who listened, Kevin included, DC to win this fight had to get inside.
Yeah.
To get inside, you're going to take shots. The other problem is when you get inside on Jon Jones, he can throw elbows.
Yeah.
And the other thing that you seldom see and that MMA fans have a real tough time understanding, because when you're dealing with 2 people like ourselves,
right, that are assholes.
No, not assholes. We're fucking astute and we pay attention to shit. So many fighters...
Dude, come on, man. I just really like that, man. I mean, you might be the only motherfucker in the history of the United States to call us and classify both of us as astute.
When it comes to watching...
I did write a book, though. I don't know if I told you motherfuckers about it. SchoolYourselfIntoShape.com. Go grab a copy tomorrow.
What I mean by that is so many of these fighters find out what won them 5 fights, and they do it in the 6th fight. And then they get their ass whipped because someone goes, oh, guess what? He's going to throw a left hand and then duck. Why? Because I watched him do it 5 fights before. Jon Jones makes changes on the fly.
He does.
Like, he was going up, and you could see it in the first round. He's going up top, and he's like, oh shit, Daniel Cormier's going to block. Whap! And drilled him right in the fucking stomach.
Yeah.
Not many other fighters will even do that throughout the course of a fight, let alone in one round. And it sounds like something simple, but next time you MMA fans watch your favorite fighter, watch him. And I bet he does the same shit every fucking round. Very few guys change it up.
Oh my God. It was almost frustrating because I'm like, the 3rd round, after the eye poke, I felt like in the 3rd round, the first round was Jones. The 2nd round was close. Very close, but George and I said it's going to go to Jones because it was close. The 3rd round, Cormier had, and that's obviously why all the judges agreed, him a 46. And he was doing really well into that eye poke, and in that just it didn't, not that it hurt, it just stopped his momentum, you know. And I'm like,
and then that's when he looked at Herb Dean and be like, hey, you need that break? I need a hamburger.
Shit, goddamn, this weight cut's killing the brother.
Dude, he was huffing and puffing. So was Jon Jones, surprisingly.
But Jon Jones is so fucking strong, and when he took him to the canvas like repeatedly that one round, I'm like, wow, DC's in trouble. You know, he has beaten them at his own game. And that's the one thing when you see an MMA fight, that when someone beats you at your own game, and I was like, I for one was very surprised about it. I was like, well, I did not expect that. I didn't. And George and I kept saying, you got to get inside and use your hands.
Now, let's talk about this because it's going to be talked about and people are going to be upset about it. So I want your opinion on it because
upset
I know
at us?
No. About at the end of the fight. Okay. There's time left on the thing. Jon Jones extends his hand in the air. The whistle has not blown. The play is still live. Ref, we are still in between these white lines. Oh, you put your hands down. Bip, bip. 2-pieced him.
I mean, I like I said, I like DC, but he shouldn't put his hands down. That was just stupid. It was stupid.
People have already told me that's a cheap shot. It's a cheap shot if the whistle had blown. It's a cheap shot after the round. Yeah. It's a cheap shot before the round starts. That was within the 5 minutes. And if you're a Floyd Mayweather fan and you say that's a cheap shot, you need to reevaluate your life stance.
Yeah. Because people, I mean, it is, you know, he had his hands up, and you got to remember, Cormier was kind of coming towards him.
He turned right to him.
He turned towards him, so you don't know if he's going to turn to him and hit him, and the fight's not over. Now, that could be the time where he could pull a Floyd Mayweather, hit Jon Jones, and knock him out, and it would be legitimate. So, I don't blame Jon Jones. I don't. I mean...
And you heard it here first.
Yeah.
The DC supporter. And see, that's the thing about us. Even though we support who we do, we can still look at things objectively.
Who we do?
Yeah.
You be getting them niggers. You know how we do. You know, we support who we do. And I'm just saying, sure, any nigger, you need to come back down to DC and get the fuck out of Philly. God damn. I can't wait till your vocabulary. I want to see what your vocabulary is in the 3rd quarter of 2050. It's going to be fucked up, shorty. They're going to be like, which one is the...
Do you want to improve your physical appearance and health? Do you crave to be in better moods and need an emotional lift? Do you want more energy during the day, better sleep at night, and exceptional sex always? Do you just want to be happy? The health benefits of regular exercise and proper diet are hard to ignore. However, lack of knowledge, willpower, and improper methods prevent many of us from getting into shape. But what if you could learn to quickly improve your fitness, obtain your goals, and not be miserable doing it? School Yourself into Shape was written to provide people with the proper guidance and instruction to accomplish just that. The book teaches you about the importance of structure, how to become consistent, breaking habits, overcoming obstacles, and how to ultimately create a healthy lifestyle. So if you're ready to get in shape, the time is now. The best way to get something done is to begin. Get the book, read every page, and be happy you did a year from today.